Good morning, guys, and welcome back to class. Today, what I want you guys to do is I want you to take a look at this picture. Take a look at this picture. I will post this as well inside of Schoology. But I want you guys to take a look at what's happening. What do you notice about this painting? What do you wonder about this painting? Then continuing on with our lesson. Our focusing question and content framing question is, for our focusing, how did the conditions on the front affect soldiers? In this lesson, we are going to be distilling what are the central ideas of Chapter 5. And we're going to be examining for our craft question, why transitions are important. So let's continue, but first starting off with examining transitions in explanatory writing. So you guys are going to be working in handout 13A today. The name of that workbook document is Transitions in Writing. This is the workbook. One thing that we must know is that transitions are a type of word or phrase that signals to a reader that there is a shift from one idea to the other. So you may use a word that's going to separate your ideas. There are various words and phrases that demonstrate the different kinds of connections between ideas in writing. And using transitions effectively will provide your reader with a guide to what is coming next in a piece of writing and help them understand how the information fits together. So let's look at the workout page or the workbook page that you're going to have to do. The directions say to use this guide to help you identify and incorporate transitional expressions into your writing. So if you are looking here, you have function and examples. So if you are trying to make your ideas agree, or if you're trying to add something to your idea, you might use the word similarly, or furthermore, or likewise, or especially. If you're trying to show a difference in your ideas, like you're writing about two different things, you might say however, or although, yet, or on the contrary, and so on. So in this column for function, you're looking to see what type of transition you're trying to add. Although there's not anything here for you to do on this worksheet, it is a really good guide of how to add transitions into your writing, and you need to refer back to this at the end of the lesson to create your explanatory writing assignment. Then I want you guys to highlight or underline all the transitions used in handout 8A. So you're going to go back into your handout 8A and see if you can find any transitions that were used, and then answer the question. How do these transitions help you understand these informative paragraphs? Now, this is just an example, guys. Let's just say you find a transition that says first, second, third, and then, and next. This is going to help you maybe possibly understand a sequence of events, like first this happened and then this happened. That would be a reason or a way that it helps you understand. Okay, so you want to look to see what type of transition was used and see how that helps you understand the idea. So you are going to have to use 13A just like I did and go back and look to answer the question. Then I want you guys to update your status reports. Now we should have read up to, I think at this time, almost chapter 5. We should have read chapter 5 at this point. So whoever your characters were, you are all characters. You need to go back and update your status report. See if you've learned anything else about their personality, any more incidences that they have been involved in, and how they reacted to those involvements. Then I want you guys to take out your annotations from what you did for homework. And we're going to answer the question, what happens in Chapter 5? You're going to examine the central ideas developed in Chapter 5. Remember, a novel can have one big central idea as well as many central ideas. Sometimes when a novel we know that this book is about war, but it's also about isolation and fear and death and family. All of those things are ideas. So you may have different central ideas that appear from chapter to chapter. So I want you to answer the question, what incidences or events in Chapter 5 connect to the other incidences that have happened in chapters 1 through 4? Then review pages 75 through 91 of All Quiet on the Western Front, reading the words from Killing Each Separate Louse to Yaden Wins, of course, the Lucky Wretch. How does Kropp's response to Muller on page 77 develop the idea of the soldier's loss of innocence on the front? And how does the men's conversation on pages 84 through 88 reveal the effects of the conditions on the front? Then let's look at this word insubordination. How does Yaden's insubordination reveal comradeship in All Quiet on the Western Front? Looking at this word, you have a few words inside of it, and you have words that are going to be around it. Use your outside-in strategy to see if you can figure out what the meaning of insubordination is when it comes to Yaden. Insubordination means not having a desire to obey authority or listen to orders given by someone with more power, especially in the military. Rereading pages 84 through 88, From Muller Hasn't Finished Yet to We Believe in War, I want you to find the central idea, key phrases, and supporting evidence, focusing on a key sentence or phrase in the text. That is one way to identify and distill central ideas in the text. So for example, here, one of the central ideas from the text is the conditions at the front, okay? Another one could be the psychological effects of the soldiers. Another one could be food rations. Another one could be death. Another one could be the feeling of isolation, the loss of loved ones. All of these are central ideas or things that happen in this novel. But looking at the central idea that I have, conditions at the front. On page 81, it says, Himmelstoss seems to have learned already that the front line isn't a parade ground. Well, when we think of a parade, we think of like something happy and boisterous. But of course, Himmelstoss has just learned that the front line is not a parade. And the supporting evidence, or he learned that it's not fun there, basically. He didn't expect this open hostility. On page 82, this line shows that he now understands that it's not a parade here. Or the Kaiser couldn't be more insulted. So people are fighting and being insulted here. That shows us also that this is not a fun place to be. Or 5 days clink or 5 days rest. Well, when he says 5 days clink, he means like 5 days in jail, or do you want 5 days of rest? This is also showing us that the front line is not a fun place. So you're going to pick your idea, pick a key quote, and then find some supporting evidences that relate to your key phrase. This is going to help you find your central ideas of this chapter. You're looking at chapter 5 for these. And then I want you to answer the question to end up, what are the central ideas of chapter 5? How can examining key sentences and phrases help us distill the central ideas? And for your exit ticket, identify the key sentence or phrase that best exemplifies a central idea in Chapter 5. For homework, I want you guys to continue reading, practicing your fluency. Now on to our vocabulary deep dive. We're going to be doing an activity in categorization, or putting words in categories. Now looking at the words that are in the table, they've already been sorted. What do you think the categories may be? Can you sort these words in a different way? Categorization is, we will apply this technique on a word you've used in the lesson, like tedious and wearisome. We also have comradeship, bombardment, and insubordination. Sort these words into categories and be prepared to explain why you separated them. To end, I want you to write an exit ticket in response to the following question. Pretend you are Paul and must explain why Yaden committed an act of insubordination to Himmelstas. Use at least 2 of the words from the categorization exercise in your explanation. So you want to use 2 of these words in your categorization exercise to answer this question. All right, that's going to be it for today. I'll see you guys next time. Again, if you have any questions, please come to office hours. I'm there to assist you. Bye.